quarterfinals of the 2025 USL League One playoffs wrap up from the West Coast. For the first time in their history, Spokane Velocity host postseason soccer against a scorching hot South Georgia Tormenta side. Philip Galati with you every step of the way. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Before we get started, we will take a look at how the bracket is shaping up. One knocks and FC Naples into the semifinals. The winner of this match will play the Portland Hearts of Pine after they went to the Wolves' Den and beat Chattanooga by a score of 1-0. It will be the first semifinals appearance for South Georgia since 2022 and the second in back-to-back years for Velocity FC. For the hosts, they are trying to go back to the big game, last year falling short in the final to Union Omaha. So coming into this year, head coach Lee Veban said, defensively, we have to shore things up. They went from allowing nearly 2 goals a game to just over 1. This defensive unit has learned to defend from the front. The key words for Velocity are consistency and clarity. They know their roles, they know their responsibilities, and their defense has led them back to the postseason in 2025. It's anchored by their main man, number 23, Carlos Marancio. Fell out of favor last year, came into this season with the chip on his shoulder, and has done brilliantly. Second in the league in saves and clean sheets. And for head coach Lee Veban, Marancio's importance not only comes with shot stopping, but also with starting attacks as well. As for South Georgia Tormenta, under head coach Mark McKeever, they have completely turned their season around. A few months ago, they didn't look likely to be in the top 8. Then they've won 8 of their last 9, including one draw to have 25 points from a possible 27, with a staggering 26 goals scored to just 7 conceded. This side has completely turned things around and are red hot coming into the quarterfinals, thanks in large part to one man rewriting the history books, Niall Reed-Stephen. 8 goals, 4 assists in that 9-game unbeaten run. No one has ever been more productive except for Keziah Sterling, who was the MVP in the final when South Georgia won it all in 2022. Looking to follow in a club legend's footsteps, the Barbados International has been simply unstoppable. Tonight is the 5th all-time meeting between these two clubs. Spokane has emerged victorious in 1. The other 3 were all draws. No ties tonight, though. Velocity FC looking to get back to the title game. South Georgia looking for its second star. The starting lineups and the first half kick on the other side of the break.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with 3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
For the first time ever, postseason soccer from Spokane. Velocity FC hosts South Georgia Tormenta FC, their 3rd meeting this season, and the last quarterfinal in the 2025 USL League One playoffs. Take a look at the starting 11 for both sides and a number of changes to highlight. for Spokane, 4 back has been the system tonight, going with the double pivot. Bryce Meredith on the left, Andre Lewis on the right. Meredith making just his 4th start in the league this season. He hasn't started back-to-back matches since March at the very beginning of the year. Nico Brett with 5 goals and 1 assist leading the line. Club legend Luis Heel, the first ever captain in Velocity history, with 10 goal contributions to anchor the middle of the park. For Tormenta and under head coach Mark McKeever, the red-hot Ibises line up in a very similar look. 4-2-3-1, Yannick Bazzini, the former NCAA champion, Vermont Catamount, wearing number 19, in hot form as well with 11 goals to his name. Niall Reed-Steven to his left with 13 goals. It is an unchanged 11 from last time out, a 3-0 win against Texoma on the road. For head coach Lee Wiedemann and Spokane, in just the club's 2nd year of operation, trying to go back to the postseason, falling in the final to Union Omaha, who were knocked out last night by FC Naples. Lee Wiedemann, previously of the Charleston Battery, and has helped to make this city a soccer hub. Thumbs up to the fans that have turned out in full force on what is a brisk, cold night on the West Coast. Mark McKeever trying to keep his hands warm, formerly of One Knoxville. A man not unfamiliar with the postseason, a 2021 USL League Two champion with the Des Moines Menace. Many of those players graduating to League One in the postseason this year. Trying to lead Tormenta back to the semifinals for the first time since 2022 when they won it all. It is Luis Heel, the first ever captain in Spokane history, flanked by Nico Brett to his right. That will start proceedings. Spokane on the right of your screen in the white and blue, Tormenta on the left in the navy and pink. The sun has set. Dusk descends on the final quarterfinal in 2025, and we are underway. These two sides met on this very ground just a few weeks ago, October the 11th. Niall Reed-Steven with a 25-yard free kick to open the scoring, canceled out by a spot kick from Luis Heel in the 52nd minute to end the night on a 1-1 draw.
Hey guys, can I close this a little bit? It's just blocking my corner shot. Thank you.
Gabriel Alves finding space early. Gabriel Cabral short to his right. Tormenta will look to stretch things vertically. Talented players on the ball, pace abound, skills aplenty. Tonight billed to be an excellent watch. Spokane disciplined in defending. "35 goals conceded, 30 matches played. Last year it was 35 in the back of their net from just 21. Here is Reed-Steven at the byline. Early cross gets all the way to the back post and is flicked out of play. Niall Reed-Steven already making his mark in the opening 90 seconds, and the first corner goes the way of the visitors. It looked to be Sebastian Vivas crashing at the back post. Tonight, just his 12th start. Tormenta's leading goal scorer in 2024 with 8. This season, just 3 to his name. Oscar Jimenez to swing it in. In-swinging ball to the center of the 6 and headed away. Cleared once more only as far as Cabral. Eyes for the box. Jimenez settling. One-on-one with Derek Waldeck. Gets the cross away. Towering header nearly there by Bazzini. Reed-Steven on cleanup. Sent in again. And away again. This time Cameron Miller making the play on defense, who was unavailable for that October 11th meeting. serving a red card suspension. Tormenta not shy to cross it in the early stages of this one. This time the corner from the other side, Jimenez again to deliver. To the near post. Header only as far as the skipper, Connor Doyle. Pinballing around, Kasanzu's header is loose. Bazzini straight up, and he was offside in the process. It looked to be, in fact, David Garcia. He just snuck a leg out in front of him. Lee Wiedemann, his second season at the helm of Velocity FC, has done an incredible job with this young organization. One of just a handful of teams to make the postseason in their first year. Ended 2024 on a 5-game losing skid with a draw at the end to close out the regular season, and then an incredible run as the underdogs all the way to the final match before Los Pujos were crowned champions once again. This is Vivas. Now Jimenez. Options waiting in the area. A lot of movement. Cross deflected. Falls right back to Oscar Jimenez. Poor giveaway, intercepted by Reedy now. Spokane haven't had a chance to stretch their legs. Clever turn by Reedy, and he's won a foul. Wants a yellow card as well. There was a case to be made there for the denial of a promising attack, but to be going toward the touchline rather than down the channel. Reedy with 6 goal contributions to his name this season. Now a first look at Carlos Marencio, turn distributor. Again, the width of the pitch tonight and how these two teams want to play. Going to stretch things as far as they can. It will be a test of resolve and fitness. As the night goes on, a lot of ground to cover, depending on how high each team wants to defend out of possession. Mark McKeever has led South Georgia to unprecedented heights in 2025. A man with a wealth of coaching experience spanning 2 decades under his belt. It's a clever little flick if it can be kept in play. And Siobhan John Brown is just a half step behind it. Both of these sides playing at full strength. As tonight's injury report, brought to you by Kinetic Chiropractic, sees neither side having anyone unavailable. With the season that both of these teams have had, the Open Cup, the Jägermeister Cup, have been thousands of minutes put on tired legs. And to have a full, healthy first 18 tonight for both managers, something he will be quite thankful for. Interplay cut away by Waldeck. Meredith to safety with Garcia. Splits the midfield line, and a heavy touch earns a free kick. A raucous cheer from the Spokane faithful. And the play restarted a bit too quickly. Off the back of Pierre Reedy, won the foul. Nerves in no short supply tonight. South Georgia in particular with a very young roster, intertwined with some promising new professionals, some veterans who have been around the block. As likewise with Spokane, a backbone of experienced players with silverware to their name. Vivas clipping it through, Reed Steven to the edge of the area. Defended in close quarters by Miller. Clever run by Alves, he's onside. Meredith with the poor clearance. Lewis, well done to bring that down. Split may have been on. Instead, it's Waldeck. Akers in front of him. Instead, plays the simple ball. Tormenta getting plenty of blue shirts forward. Trying to stifle the build-up through the middle, but the Route 1 pass has worked out for Pierre Reedy. Two defenders in tow, trying to brush by both of them. Instead, it is Jackson Kasanzu winning the duel. Going to ground, in a bit of pain. Rather, it's Justin Malou who's won the goal kick, making just his 5th start of the season. Man on loan from North Carolina FC. And last night booked their place in the USL Championship semifinals of the Eastern Conference. As for tonight's keys to the game, presented by Ford for Spokane, it is defend from the front. If they can stifle South Georgia's creative playmakers and discourage any long passes into the channels, that will be their route to success. Meanwhile, for Tormenta, divide and conquer with players like Yaniv Bazzini, like Niall Reed-Steven, like Oscar Jimenez. If they can isolate their defenders one-on-one, they will likely beat them. Rely on their creativity to create opportunities. Nico Brent with a round of applause for the searching ball over the top. Tried and true number 9, Nico Brent. May not get many touches of the ball, but when he does, they are all impactful. Scary collision right at midfield, and the referee will have to stop it. Any suspected head or neck injury, per the laws of the game, is an immediate stoppage of play. Alves protesting that he was just trying to play the ball. Still, the priority here is the safety of Andre Lewis. And a sporting gesture between the two. Lewis, one of a number of returning players for the Spokane side. 25 appearances last year, tonight his 30th in the league. Waldeck looking for heel, intercepted. Cabral doing well to stay on his feet. And jeers from both sides. John Brown didn't think there was a foul. Mark McKeever and company thought advantage might have been on. Gerald Flores is the man with the whistle tonight, just his 3rd game this season in USL League One. Austin Pack will take it. Man who previously held the league record in saves for a season with 116. And he played for the Charlotte Independents. Now the Alpharetta, Georgia native, back in his home state. Even scored a goal this year from a corner. Headed it in for a late equalizer on home soil. Bazzini, Jimenez, out of play. Keep watching all the exciting postseason action as the USL playoffs presented by Terminix continue through November. The top teams battle it out for the ultimate prize. Go to USLLeague1.com for all the latest playoff information. Kasanzu with the toe poke. And a half minutes gone, and Spokane Seen very little time in the final third. Here's the start that Tormenta would be hoping for. Kel Rashid with a clever play. Four on paper, but you can see the way the back line morphs for the Ibises. Almost shifts to a 3 now, with Kasanzu checking back. Cabral has a pivot. Doyle couldn't get there. Heel couldn't keep it. Jimenez with space. Referee skips out of the way. Jimenez skips by his mark. It's patient from South Georgia. They've been given space to drive forward like you see now, but oftentimes players just keeping the ball as Reed Stephen goes over, and the whistle will sound. Barbados international in a heap on the deck. David Garcia gets a verbal warning for now. One more look at it. Reed Stephen does get there first. It's certainly a foul. It's Bryce Meredith instead who made the challenge. And a quick restart, not allowed by the referee as he marks out 10 yards. Gabriel Cabral having a chit chat with Oscar Jimenez. Right-footed versus left-footed delivery. It will be right-footed. Cabral to swing it in, aiming towards Bazzini. Instead, it looked to be Malou getting there first, and he's won a corner kick. Sanzu rather rising to meet it. The third corner kick of the evening for Tormenta. Tonight's corner kicks are brought to you by ICCU, your financial success fan club. Jimenez once again, a two-time USL Cup champion. A lot of hang time on this one. Siobhan John Brown has met it, and Niall Reed Stephen has bundled over Pierre Reedy. Scan now, and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flatstick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. $15 and change gone from one Spokane Stadium. Philip Galati with you. For the last of the quarterfinals in 2025 of USL League One. Another physical challenge. And more displeasure from the Spokane faithful. Bit of poise is missing from this home side. Consistency has been the key word in 2025 for head coach Lee Veman and company. He started the year with a brilliant run of form the last few games. 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws from the final 6 of the regular season. Coach Veman telling us earlier this week, just a bit of sharpness has been missing on the ball. That's a scary challenge again, and there will be a booking here. Gabriel Cabral went in with his head. Andre Lewis opted with his foot. And the studs have made contact very high there. One more look at it. And there can't be many complaints there from Lewis. Doesn't see Cabral rising to make that challenge, but gets his studs very high. One thing the referees look at is the point of contact and the method of contact. Studs to the side of the foot, probably not a yellow card. Studs to the midsection, that's a caution. The first of the night for Spokane's number 77. The Reggae Boys International capped thrice with Jamaica. Sent in from a long way out and returned to sender. Rashid down onto the playing surface. Reed Stevens settling and being tripped up from behind. And now it gets interesting. Nearly the exact same blade of turf from which Niall Reed Stevens scored a direct free kick just a few weeks ago against Spokane. Maybe a bit farther out now. Looks to be at least 30, maybe 35 yards. Rancio not taking any chances. It's a training ground play, and it's well read by Spokane. Clever move to play it short to Bizzini as Jimenez rounds the wall, but Siobhan John Brown peeled away and cut it away. Brown winning the second ball and playing short for Meredith. Gives it right back. Yet to see Spokane's forward line turn and face goal. Perfect opportunity now. Trivella ball forward for Luis Heel. The captain trying to take care of it. Wins a corner kick. Scrappy one, but it'll do for Spokane, their first corner kick of the evening. Jackson Simba Kasanzu who conceded it. This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. The left arm up from Luis Heel, adorned with the armband. To the back post, a player's gone down, and it will be a foul. The header goes over the bar anyways. It was won unfairly. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome our Charity of the Month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. Please visit our site at www.windermerefoundation.com. Nearly intercepted. Nervy moment there for South Georgia. Clever dummy for Doyle, and it does work. Vivas putting in the work defensively. And now Reed Stephen with the heavy touch. Can beat Garcia for pace, but doesn't have the angle. Spokane shifting their shape a bit out of possession as well. It's three forwards sitting behind their out-and-out talisman, Nico Brett, but out of possession. The winger on the strong side of the ball drops back just a little bit to add a number in the center of the park. You saw those early spaces in this one that Tormenta was given in the middle third as the fans bring the noise and keep themselves warm. A team that has had incredible support since day one. A yelp from Vivas, but he doesn't get the call. Waldeck skipping away, trying to spot the switch. Clever touch from Heel. Sliding challenge foils Nico Brett. Reed Stephen with an industrious bit of work. Deflects the clearance. Now Cabral. Reed Stephen again. Just one or two options showing for the 5-10 yard pass for South Georgia. Everybody else getting wide or getting high, trying to drag a well-regimented Spokane defense out of sorts. Searching ball again towards Bizzini. Reed Stevens settling it, trying to round his man and going over. Referee immediately waving it off. Not met with much protest either. Now it's Justin Malou who is down. Walking gingerly after the 50-50 challenge. And ready to soldier on. One shot for either side. 23 minutes gone. Neither of them were on target. Head coach Mark McKeever maybe making a couple changes to add pressure on that velocity back line. The man who took a little over a year-long hiatus after 20 years of coaching, went back to his native Scotland, spent more time with his family, studied under some of the best minds in his homeland and in the USL Championship, toured a couple of training camps and just absorbed everything he could. He said it was a wonderful experience for him, that he never lost the passion for coaching, he never lost the passion for the sport he loves, but time away from the game allowed him to reset, to be a sponge, to bring new insight to this side. Reed Stephen looking for help. Trivella ball towards Bazzini! And caught by Marencio. Whatever change Coach McKeever made, it nearly worked instantaneously. Marencio's 78th stop in League One in 2025. Bazzini on his back foot does well to meet it. Really hard to generate that power in midair. When you're backpedaling like that, just tries to pick his spot. Marencio with the footwork to get across his line. The ball staying on the line. May have come off the arm of Doyle there, but play goes on. Heel. Reedy. Oprah makes the overlap. Reedy picks him out. Lucky Oprah along the ground. And Mikel Rashid sends it away from harm's way. He's just starting to open up a little bit more now. Waldeck has found a plethora of green grass on the switch, and the give and go is too heavy. Siobhan John Brown wins it right back, lays it off, takes a deflection, and into the arms of Austin Pack. Andre Lewis ran onto it, tried to pick out the side netting. That deflection may have helped Austin Pack in the end, took all the venom off of it. It's a clever idea to go low. Austin Pack now on to 77 saves, one behind Marencio. Well-timed ball from the goalkeeper. Has the wherewithal to pick out the open man. Under a bit of duress as well. Speaks to his experience. 31 years of age. A USL veteran at that. Tormenta taking care of the ball, as they have done for most of the night. Slight edge in possession with 56%. Spokane's 44. Mikel Rashid pondering the switch of the point of attack. Now you can see how that four-back system morphs for Tormenta. There's three in front of Austin Pack, and his long ball is too heavy. Incredible sight to see. Spokane, a soccer city. Coach Lee Veman spoke on the amount of time this team has spent trying to grow this sport in this part of the country. He said when he got here, it was all Gonzaga men's basketball. Not a lot of fans knew about offsides or overlapping runs or anything like that.
He said before this year, at a season ticket members event, before the 2025 campaign, a couple fans came up to him and said, "You made this a soccer city." That meant everything to him and his staff and these players. This club has rallied around its 11 from day one. Of course, now with Spokane Zephyr as well in the USL Super League. Professional women's team continuing to grow this game. Looking to reward those fans who are bringing the noise and braving the cold as Spokane continues its search for its first shot on target of the evening. Jimenez, progressive first touch, but forced to turn back. Kasanzu scanning. Clever 1-2 and nearly on again. Alves brought it down. Zini wasn't ready for the double give and go. And Cabral was left to shoulder in late there. Maybe not red card worthy, but that kid's got the spirit. Just the one booking so far tonight to Andre Lewis. Back in the 17th minute. Garcia asking players to go long. Waldeck going to be closed down quickly by Doyle, the captain. Gets it away. Siobhan John Brown had his pocket picked. Now Doyle looking for Bazzini, who's gone down, clutching his head. And Waldeck as well. Both players in a spot of bother. Waldeck back up to his own 2 feet. Bazzini still struggling. It will be a Spokane free kick. There may have just been a clash of noggins there, but that's certainly a foul. Reed Stephen is late to it. There's contact there, whether he meant it or not. Bazzini still looking to shrug it off. The rookie in his first year in the big leagues won it all with Vermont. The Catamounts lifting their first piece of silverware in any sport besides alpine skiing last year in the big dance against Marshall. It went to overtime and Golden Goal won it. If tonight is tied after 90 minutes, there will be an additional 30. If we are still deadlocked, we go to spot kicks. That was the story last night down in Florida when FC Naples knocked out the defending champions in a penalty shootout, emerging victorious against Union Omaha. Substitute goalkeeper Joel Serrano the hero. The expansion side marches on. Here come Velocity. Decent cross, but over the head of Nico Brett. And Jimenez with a safe play. Hosts forced onto the back foot again. Jimenez, clever little Trivella. Vivas lost sight of it. Pokes it away. Reedy on the turn. Heel showing short. Instead playing the way he faces with Lucky Oprah, who gives it right back. And Reedy loses his balance at the byline. The select ball has been knocked around all night long is the official match ball. The official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Pack gives it a go. Reed Stephen shrugged off it. Meredith underneath it. And now finally brought down. Neither side giving anyone any sort of breathing room. And a wealth of options on the bench available to both coaches. No substitutions as of yet. Maybe different personalities will shake things up a bit. A tie back on October 11th, the last time these two teams met. Tonight, the 5th all-time meeting between these clubs. 3 of them have ended in a draw. Just one a Spokane win. That coming back on May 10th against Tormenta. The Ibises have never emerged victorious against Velocity. Anwar Palaez scored the lone goal in that win. He's available off the bench tonight. Spokane's leading goal scorer. Reed Stephen, back for Doyle. Cushioning it with the instep, but maybe had the time to take a touch. Just caught it behind his plant foot, Connor Doyle. 1 goal, 1 assist to his name in 2025. Matching his mark in 2024 when he signed midway through the season for the club. A League One champion during a 4-year stint with the Greenville Triumph. Kasanzu nearly had his pocket picked. Is there a foul there? The referee says no. Spokane would have likely been in behind and with numbers. Cabral. 2 players making the run on the near side. Instead, Kasanzu with much more time on the ball this time around. Bazzini to the byline. Reed Stephen waiting in the box. Alves. Malou. Cabral. Kasanzu. Rashid. South Georgia keen to knock it around. Rashid made the run, very little space to do so. Jimenez with a clever interception. Sliding challenge came in, and it's a clean one by Siobhan John Brown. Reed Stephen takes it down, skips by 1, races past a second, pushed over, and free kick Tormenta. That is the creativity that makes Niall Reed Stephen so dangerous. Pierre Reedy gives away the dead ball scenario. Reed Stephen was in the box just a moment ago. Checks back into midfield. And that's exactly what you want out of your star player. Isn't seeing the ball where he wants. So it comes back into the heart of the pitch. Helps with the buildup. Gets involved no matter where. And now gets his reward with a free kick. Gabriel Cabral standing over it as well. To the left of Niall Reed Stephen. 25 yards out. It will be Cabral, and it's into the wall, which does its job, and importantly so. Cabral with a sigh of dismay. The Fluminense Academy product. Born in Brazil and moved to the US back in 2015 to play college ball with Charleston and UNC Wilmington. ICCU corner kick on the way. 4th of the night for Tormenta compared to just 1 for Spokane. Into the heart of the box again and headed away again. Rashid looking to pick out Vivas. Well done by Bazzini to keep it alive. Jimenez didn't favor the cross on his weaker right foot, but again wins the second ball for Tormenta, which is given straight away. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. Another poor giveaway, this time for the hosts. Doyle probing forward. Jimenez gets the nutmeg and goes over. No call. Heel in a spot of bother. Waldeck trying to play out of it. That's well done from Spokane. John Brown got a touch to it. Brett, did he keep it alive? He did, but only for a moment. And then the referee spotted the flag. Mark McKeever incredibly animated on this near side. He said the last time at Tormenta traveled to Spokane, they played at 60% of their capacity. Told us earlier this week, quote, "We know they're very talented." Being able to get a draw against a team like Spokane spoke to our quality. But tonight, a prospect for us to really challenge ourselves to be the best we can be. They have been the better side in terms of creation, especially in the final third. 4 shots to Spokane's 2, but none of them particularly promising. Bazzini trying to unlock the speed of Niall Reed-Steven, who's gonna get there. Tough angle, tries to cut it back, and it's cleared off of him last. Excellent defensive play by Cameron Miller. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. If you want to be like these fans and catch all the playoff action this month, get your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. 40th minute now. The winner of this match to play Portland Hearts of Pine in the League One semifinals. Is there to be a name on the score sheet in the opening frame? Waldeck, Siobhan John Brown, space to cut it back onto his right and sits down his defender to the back post, open man, and grabbed by Pack, bravely so. Would have been a highlight reel goal. No holds barred goalkeeping from the Peach State native. Cabral gives the second ball away. Some breathing room for Velocity FC now. Siobhan John Brown, whoop, see ya. Sits down his mark. It's a decent ball, but it just takes a hop right at the wrong time. Reedy was there for it and loose for a half second. It's again Mikel Rashid with a nervy piece of defending as Reed-Steven will turn away from open space. Kasanzu, Jimenez. Spokane not going to pressure it, but they will intercept the poor pass from Mikel Rashid. He's having a tough stretch of a few minutes here and has to get back on defense. John Brown. Bryce Meredith now. Played his college ball with Lehigh and Memphis. This is his first year as a professional. Just shy of 500 minutes on the campaign coming into tonight. His second start in 3 matches. The last time he had that was back in March at the very start of the campaign. Garcia. Back line slowly getting higher now for Spokane. Important if they can win the second ball here. They want to throw. Garcia now directing traffic. Oprah has the long throw in his locker. The Jägermeister Cup champion last year with the Northern Colorado Hailstorm. Everyone is in the box for it. Oprah elects not to use the trebuchet. Instead, playing it in with his foot, flicked on and tipped wide. Pierre Reedy with a half chance, and Austin Pack with a very important save for Tormenta. At the near post, difficult angle just to stretch for that one. It's a scramble for South Georgia's #1. Got a paw to it. Now just the second ICCU corner kick for Spokane, your financial success fan club. Waldeck has scored an Olympico in League One. There are players in the goal mouth, causing havoc. Dangerous area. And touched out of play by Bryce Meredith. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Spokane, one of the strongest defenses in all the land, have silenced the most prominent attack in all of League One through 44 minutes and change. The deadlock cannot hold whether it takes 90 minutes or 120. There will be a victor tonight. Bazzini checks 2, cuts back, skips away, plays short with Cabral. Lovely bit of skill from the rookie, who continues his run. Malou instead goes short. Alves stopped in his tracks. A stalemate through 45, just the one additional minute tacked on. This half stoppage time is presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotels. Jimenez going to ground, didn't get a great touch on it. This is Siobhan John Brown! And it is skyward by some margin. Staring into the headlights of a goal just 20 yards away. Eyes gleaming in the prospect of being the lone goal scorer of the first half, and just put too much power behind it. It is no easy feat as a striker to maintain composure with such an excellent opportunity like that, especially in a playoff game. Deadlocked at zeros, scoreless through 45. Spokane and Tormenta unable to be separated through one half of play. Carlos Marancio with a save to his name, so too did Austin Pack have. As both goalkeepers haven't been tested much. Credit to their respective back lines, but it cannot and it will not hold. 45 minutes in the books, a place in the semifinals still up for grabs. Scoreless between Spokane and South Georgia through half number 1. Plenty to talk about at halftime, but first, we step aside. Don't go anywhere.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
Picturesque night for playoff soccer on the West Coast. Scoreless through 45 minutes between Spokane and South Georgia. Philip Galani with you for tonight's halftime show. As we take a look at the other quarterfinals in USL League One. Tonight the fourth and final one, but there have been three before this. We start in the Wolves' Den. Chattanooga finishing runners-up in the regular season, losing by a 1-0 scoreline to a man making a strong case for League One MVP. Ollie Wright on the give and go and sends the Hearts of Pine into the semifinals. His second half strike, booking the place of the winner of this match and a date with the Hearts of Pine. Well-traveled Maine fan base, rather, sent into jubilation as the first-year side continues their quest. Down to Florida, FC Naples, the first-year side against the defending champions Ian Garrett, scoring in sudden death, and then upsets Joel Serrano, who played the last 5 minutes of the game after Lalo Delgado came off injured, and he makes the save. The backup goalie, the hero, down in Naples, who continue into the semifinals. They will play one Knoxville, who earlier today beat the Independents by a scoreline of 2-1. Christian Chaney scoring for the Jacks, but it was not enough. Sievert Haugley in the first half from the corner before Stavros Zarakostas raced away and scored the game winner as the Players' Shield winners continue their postseason run in their first ever playoff win. So that does it for the other three matches. No telling how this one's gonna end. We step aside before our halftime show rolls on from Spokane. Back in a bit.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
to put Portland into the postseason.
Reaches to the whistle. It ends.
Zero through 45 minutes. Tonight's halftime presented by Spokane Tribe and Resort Casino. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe and Resort Casino. Located in Airway Heights. As we take a look around the USL, the news and the notes as we go into the postseason. Of course, the Golden Awards wrap up the regular season. Juan Carlos Obregon Jr. finished second last year with 15. He wins the Golden Boot in 2025 with 17. 11 clean sheets for the rookie, Jason Smith, who grew up in the Chattanooga system in USL League Two out in Utah. Meanwhile, Charlie Ostrom named the Golden Playmaker for Los Brujos. Meanwhile, Eduardo Blanca scoring not one but two direct free kicks in the same game to extend his league record of 6 in a single season. Meanwhile, Simon Fitch, the Richmond native, and the Kickers doing a brilliant job of promoting from within their ranks, becoming the 7th player in league history to record 3 assists in one match in a 5-1 win in the Henny Derby against Forward Madison. As for the team of the week, in week 34, Austin Pack getting his 4th clean sheet last time out and his 4th nod to the team of the week. Simon Fitch, again, setting a league record and named as the player of the week. Ollie Wright and Nathan Messer both repping for the Hearts of Pine. Meanwhile, Carson Henderlong finished second in the Golden Boot race with 14, and we'll see his side continue into the semifinals to take on Players Shield winners, One Knoxville. All right, one more break from Spokane when we come back. The first half highlights and the second half kickoff. See you soon. Think about that to the end of the season. Until then, it's doing our job week in, week out. Babacar Dieng unmarked and fires home for a 3rd.
Up ahead, Bazzini. The flag down momentarily. Yaniv Bazzini. Crafty!
Back up top, Espinal sends it. Bill Hart, he waits, he takes, he scores!
Obregon on the free kick. Obregon, oh my goodness! Number 17 on the season is a stunner!
On opening day of the 2025 season, Juan Carlos Obregon converted a penalty kick to help preserve a 1-1 draw for Westchester SC. That goal kicked off a 17-goal Golden Boot campaign. JC, as his teammates and friends call him, never went longer than 2 games without scoring a goal, and scored 3 times in 2 games to finish the season. That provided the necessary cushion to lead all of League One. It was a steady run all season long. You never really went into a slump. So kind of describe your season as a whole, and you wound up with the most in League One.
So this season, to sum it up individually, I think it was spectacular. Just like you said, I was consistent all year, scoring the goals. My goal was to win the Golden Boot. Put in the work every day, and I was able to achieve it.
2023-24, last season, you endured some challenges. Coming into this season, how comforting was it to land on this team and realize I'm going to have an entire season here and really get to show what I can do? All the other stuff is aside.
Yeah, 2023 was tough because I started the year at Motagua in Honduras in the first division over there. And then halfway through the year, I joined Pittsburgh. So it was a lot of moving around, you know. I wasn't able to really stable myself, and reach my best potential. Last year, I thought I had a great individual season. I was, runner up for the Golden Boot. I did join the team late, so I had less games under my belt. It was definitely on my mind this year to go for it and make sure it happened. And, I'm just thankful to God that I was able to do that.
Obregon had a big lead entering the regular season finale when Carson Henderlong of FC Naples scored a pair of goals. That was good enough for second most goals in League One, 3 behind Obregon. Niall Reed-Stephen of South Georgia Tormenta finishes the season with 13 goals, followed by Christian Cheney of Charlotte Independent with 12.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
The last first half highlights of the 2025 quarterfinals, and we start in the 25th minute with a chance for Tormenta, set up by Niall Reed-Stephen and headed on by Yaniv Bazzini. The rookie, though, seeing his header met well by Carlos Marancio. Again, look at the footwork, able to get across and close down that near post. That was key for keeping that one out. 43rd minute, and a lone shot on target for the host was Pierre Reedy, just getting a flick onto it at a difficult height, mind you. But Austin Pack does well to get low, get to ground, and get that one away from his goal. One shot on target for both sides, possession in favor of the Ibises by a margin of 60-40, with 4 corners as well. Again, these two sides are very well regimented. When they played last time out, both coaches said that there was room for improvement, but the philosophies for Mark McKeever in South Georgia and Lee Beeman in Spokane clash. There's very little room to give. It will take a bit of individual brilliance to unlock this match. If you are just joining us, Tormenta on the right in the navy and magenta, Spokane on the left in the sky blue and white. We are underway once again. Phil Galani with you on ESPN Plus for the 2025 USL League One playoffs, the final match in the quarterfinals. Winner takes on Tormenta, rather the Hearts of Pine, and an excellent chance for Tormenta. Tunbridge was slaloming through. The man who just came on 29 seconds ago scored a brace in the season opener and replaces Sebastian Vivas as the lone change at the break. A man born in London, played on the West Coast in college with the University of San Diego. Was drafted to play indoor soccer, but instead chose to play in USL League One. Now his second campaign with Tormenta. 2 goals and 1 assist last year, 9 goals, 7 assists in 2025. Waldeck on the overlap and into the boards. Shrugged off by Kasanzu. Tormenta going to try and play out of the back. Waldeck intercepted it, but Jimenez gets it right back. One-time ball into space for Niall Reed-Steven. Flag stays down. Reed-Steven onto his left, and 4 white shirts surround him. Somehow he skips away with the ball. Cabral. Alves. Trying to find the room to stand it up, and does so on his weaker right foot. Didn't get the bend he was hoping for. Zini trying to get in front of Waldeck, beats him to it. It's a poor mistake. Players trying to stay warm. Rather get back to being warm after a very chilly interval. Malou. Kasanzu. Doyle tells him to play to the far side, and he does. Jimenez searching for Reed-Steven and cut away. Toe poke by the captain keeps it alive for Tormenta. Just like the first half, South Georgia winning these second balls, keeping chances alive and recycling opportunities. Second ball falling kindly to Malou. Composure to turn, gets the give and go. Work it back inside, and now Tunbridge opening up. Nearly saw the diagonal run. Cabral from behind. May have got the ball, but went through the player to do so. Another look at it. It may as well be that follow through as well. Anytime you come in from behind like that as a player, more than likely it will be a foul. Not a convincing clearance. Reedy turning away, waiting for reinforcements. Got it with Lewis. Sent in towards John Brown. Falls on the volley. And Andre Lewis reacting first to the rebound. Takes the first shot of the second half for Spokane. One he will want back. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Top House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Another whistle this time for the visitors. Just one yellow card through 50 minutes of play, given to Andre Lewis back in minute number 17. Searching ball to the far side off of the heel of Jimenez, who gathers. The shimmy doesn't shake Waldeck. Kasanzu, Cabral. More patience from South Georgia, a team that can fly on the counterattack but have been forced to build on the road against the number 3 seed. Tunbridge. Seeing a lot of the ball since coming on. The ball dancing on the paint, but he's played on the ground and in a dangerous manner as well. There is technically nothing in the IFAB laws of the game that says you cannot play on the ground. Obviously not an effective manner to do so when you can stand and run and jump, but when you are playing on the ground, it's very easy to play in a dangerous manner. That's technically the ruling, because on the ground you leave your studs exposed, just trying to nip at the ball. Oftentimes there's a trip or a shin kick. That's what the referee has called. South Georgia win the aerial duel, as they have done many times tonight, and John Brown has won it right back. Going over, but the counter stays alive. Brett on the turn. Kasanzu got a touch to it. Niall Reed-Steven intercepts. Trying to shrug past his mark. Stays on his feet brilliantly. inviting Tunbridge forward. The substitute stretches his legs and clatters into his defender. Players going down everywhere. Clever footwork once again. Oprah now gives the 1-2 on the one-time ball, and there may have been a deflection off of Connor Doyle there. Referee says no. Pierre Reedy, whose name we said many times in the opening 10-15 minutes or so, has been kept rather quiet since then. Trying to make an instant impact early in the second half. Doesn't look like there was a touch from the South Georgia skipper there. Reedy just off balance, slicing with the outside of his boot. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. From a shape standpoint, Bryce Meredith, a holding midfielder for Spokane, is stepping up a little bit higher now off the ball and wins the ball right on cue. Again, Velocity FC trying to clog things up in the middle third, and that'll lead to opportunities on the counter, if not for an expertly timed sliding challenge. Reedy once again asking for help from his teammates, why nobody told him he had a man on. Meanwhile, the shape for Tormenta stays similar. A back four on paper that shifts to 3 in possession, pushing the wing backs higher and a center midfielder dropping back in between the 2 center halves to be the pendulum, the fulcrum through which they switch the point of attack. Reed Stephen just got a caught underneath his left foot. No shortage of touches from Niall Reed Stephen, but yet to have his first shot. Niall Reed Stephen with 7 touches in the opposition box. No one else has half that for South Georgia. Alves, nobody showing short for the throw. Malou. Clever Cruyff turn. Switch a little bit behind Jimenez. USL Championship All-League first team selection in 2019 when he lifted the cup with Lou City, who were knocked out yesterday by Detroit City in what is arguably the biggest upset in USL Championship playoff history. Louisville had only lost 1 game all year and bow out in the first round. Top seed in League One is marching on, though. Won Knoxville earlier today, getting the 2-1 win over the Charlotte Independents. Ian Fuller guiding his clubs to their first ever playoff win. Bazzini spins by 1, stays on his feet. Deflection falls right to him. Leathered the cross on the half volley. Met by the first defender. Now Malou with the clever step and sees the switch. Time and space for Tunbridge to set his feet. Taking Waldeck on. Tunbridge on his right, headed on and headed over. Gabriel Alves underneath it, unmarked at the far side of the 6-yard box. That is exactly the creativity that Mason Tunbridge provides. Off the bench, and in the first 10 minutes, he's already done so much for this Tormenta side. Alves will want that one back. As head coach Lee Viedman prepares a double change with Jack Denton replacing the lone man on a caution, Andre Lewis. Nico Brett taken off up top. Their season's leading goal scorer, Anwar Pelayez, enters the fray in the 57th minute. Denton with 1 to his name. The Londoner making his 17th appearance for Spokane this year. And as far as scoring goes, Anwar Pelayez leads the way with 9. Scored last time out against Union Omaha, breaking nearly a 2-month-long drought. Switches on for John Brown, and he's kept it in touch. Waldeck, check of the shoulder from Denton, given space to play short with John Brown. Onside, forced to work back. Waldeck now with time. Sees the run made, allowed to bounce under Malou. Pelayez darted in the near post, it was just over him. Pierre Reedy was second to it. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday night. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more on Sirius XM FC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Alves, offside. It's not a particularly high line that Spokane plays, but with how much space their wingbacks cover, it is not uncommon to see South Georgia's wide players find themselves behind the second man. Tunbridge coming all the way back into the heart of midfield and picks up his own mistake. Better looking ball for Reed. Steven lost the duel. Malou with the shoulder. Referee says it's a throw. Yeah, Reedy left in a heap. And Spokane wanting a foul call, and the fans making their opinion known. Alves. A lot more movement now by South Georgia. Players willing to come back into midfield, be part of the build-up. That long Route 1 pass over the top to Bazzini and Reed Steven has been cut away time after time by Velocity FC. Reed Steven giving chase and forcing a hurried pass out of play. Denton checks 2 now. Spokane again really trying to stretch things. Leaves a lot of space in the middle. Denton sees the space to the far side now. Waldeck scanning. Heel was calling for it. Now makes the run. Nearly spotted by John Brown. Tormenta stepping up a little bit with their back line. Susceptible to that long ball over the top like that, and the chip over the goalkeeper is over the bar. Pierre Reedy with the best chance of the bunch by some margin, and Austin Pack is in a real spot of bother here. John Brown again providing the Route 1 pass. Reedy just skips behind him, a little bit heavy on that first touch. Difficult one, bouncing up like that. Especially with Austin Pack again with another brave piece of goalkeeping to close down the angle. Sam Jones, another Georgia native, is available off the bench for South Georgia if they need another goalkeeper. He's only made 3 appearances this season. He was a backup goalie who became the hero down in Florida last night for FC Naples, knocking off the team that beat Spokane in the final last year in Union Omaha. Mark McKeever pondering his options. If Sam Jones does come on, it will be his first appearance since July 23rd against Forward Madison. Austin Pack, though, he's back on his own 2 feet. The League One record holder for saves in a season, as Lee Wiedemann watches on with bated breath. Velocity fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. Shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Hack gives it a go and looks to be all right. John Brown, heel, going over. Referee not interested. Skipper stays down for Spokane. Louise Hill still stays down as Tormenta will kick it out of play. Ten goal contributions this year. Had 12 last year, the club's inaugural captain. Began his professional career all the way back in 2010. Played across the US and even a stint in Czechia as well, across the pond. Looks to be all right. Tormenta have used 1 substitution, Spokane have used 2. 65th minute on the West Coast. Back heel flick is a clever one. Heel wants it right back. He's onside. The ball isn't played by Reedy. Had a chance to spring either Heel or Pelaez there. Instead, tries to dribble himself. Malou lost his footing. Reedy finds space, and Rashid knocks it away. Maybe a chance to spring that vertical diagonal pass there. Kasanzu hadn't tracked all the way back. Both players appear to be onside as now Lucky Oprah will open up his arsenal. Fakes the long throw. Has time to work it in. With the right foot to the near post. Allowed to bounce. On the volley, blocked by Jimenez. Oprah collects it. Denton moves it along. John Brown with an eye for the box. Kept low and allowed to bounce. A player goes down. Appeals from the Velocity faithful. No penalty given. Sent long again and poked away again. Spokane knocking on the door. Oprah, no dice, gets it right back. And now a bit of breathing room for Tormenta, who will try and step up. Oprah behind Reedy, but able to get there. There was space on the give and go. Garcia searching for Pelaez, instead settled by Luis Heel. Reedy and Oprah and Heel. Denson, clever idea. Reedy is onto it and loses out. Did it go over the line? It did. Corner kick, Spokane. Triangles rotating to brilliant effect on the near channel for Spokane. Another look at that chance. Brave block by the USL veteran Oscar Jimenez. Sent in once again. And maybe a shot there instead of a cutback would have made it 1-0. Waldeck on the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. With an eye for the 6-yard box. It's sent beyond it. Header straight up and down and away by Tunbridge. More clattering togethers. Reed Stephen. Tunbridge with space and may have seen Marancio off his line, but was caught in between two minds there, between a pass and a shot. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit our website today. It's been 5 or 10 minutes since we've seen South Georgia have a bit of poise on the ball. They've been under duress in the defensive third. Sustained pressure at that for really the first time tonight by Spokane. Can they escape out of it? Jimenez. Lovely roulette. Tunbridge sees his pocket picked. John Brown trying to play the overlap and pack well out of his goal. Clever ball. Bazzini with a good win, but takes a deflection. That will likely be a foul. Referee says no. Looked maybe to be a late leg in there, and now Spokane can counter. Heel works it in, and Doyle clears it away. Connor Doyle, former League One champion who has earned the captain's armband this year in tonight his 15th start of the campaign. It's a good ball by Hale. Pelaez is there, but John Brown just arriving a bit late at the back post. Another ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Now the 4th of the night for Spokane, equaling Tormenta's tally. Heel to deliver, plenty of hang time, headed straight up, and Pack comes down with it safely. Enter the Prinks Tires Family Game Day Kit Sweepstakes for a chance to win a prize pack worth up to $4,000. Scan the QR code on screen to enter today. Tunbridge on the prowl. Gets the slide tackle to keep it alive, but Jimenez couldn't take care of it. Now Bazzini tracking back. Bazzini more of a point man, but has been absolutely everywhere tonight. Drifting into the channels now. Does enough for a throw-in. Fourth official appearing to ready some more changes. plenty of substitutes still available for both coaches. Jimenez. Down for Tunbridge. 3 white shirts hounding him. He coughs it up. John Brown, did he keep it alive? He did. Goes over, and no advantage there. Excellent play by the Montreal native. Waldeck once again. John Brown is checking for it. Able to turn into space. Spots the run on the near side, and it was a good one at that by Pierre Reedy. John Brown certainly with the vision. The execution has been lacking just a bit. But at this rate, if he's given that much time to continue to play those incisive through balls, he will find his mark. Velocity FC faithful bringing the noise once again. There has been a yellow card shown to the technical area. But it is to the technical area of Spokane. John Brown. Meredith is down. Now a chance to make sure he's all right. Lumberbeard Brewing is proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner for USL Spokane. Visit our downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food at 25 East 3rd Avenue. Open 7 days a week. Now a double change for head coach Mark McKeever. Taylor Gray will come on. Callum Stretch replacing Jackson Siba Kasanzu, and Gray in the stead of Oscar Jimenez. Taylor Gray with 1 goal and 2 assists to his name tonight, his 17th appearance and 8th off the bench. Does have that capability to really switch things up. Has a pair of fresh legs, pacey, crafty. Miscue by Alves, who goes down. Tormenta want a foul. Instead, Spokane get a corner. Lucky Oprah was won it. Gives a thumbs up to the fans. This is the ICCU corner kick, your financial success fan club. Waldeck again, and it is a fracas in the 6-yard box. Players shoving and pushing. David Garcia clashing with Gabriel Alves. Right in front of Austin Pack, who doesn't have half a second to catch his breath. A crowded box, and it is sent all the way through. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you Caruso's, The Burger Duck, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Pelaez can brush his way through. Doyle wins the 50-50 with John Brown, but Meredith intercepts. Denton gets it right back. Still with Denton onto his favored right foot. Thought about a shot. Would have had to thread the eye of a needle there. Oprah asking for the 1-2. Work to do for the fullback. Gets it away. Solid header away, and now Spokane bossing the second ball. Heel going to work. Good looking cross just in front of John Brown, who has the pace to hound Taylor Gray. Gray doing very well defensively. Clever little flick, and now a chance for Tormenta to counter. Reed Stephen sees Taylor Gray making the run. Taylor Gray is onside, and it's blocked. A foot race that spanned the entire length of the pitch, and Siobhan John Brown is down after his heroics. From one corner flag to the edge of the other box. Look at the space Siobhan John Brown had to close down. Clean challenge, studs down, through the ball in front of the attacker. It's textbook stuff from the winger. Taylor Gray only onto the pitch for a matter of minutes, nearly onto the score sheet if not for that man. Head coach Lee Wiedman is looking at his bench with 3 changes still available for him. Now in his second year coaching this club, and had a chance to ask him earlier this week what it's like bringing a brand new franchise all the way to the final in its first year and now back in the postseason their second. And he said there were so many things that he's learned this year, but most importantly, it's staying humble and understanding that you don't have all the answers. Always about having a growth mindset, said Coach Wiedman. That this club has come together to work through problems and every day growing and evolving. That is what they have done this year, and that is what has got them back into the postseason. Siobhan John Brown will have to come off for a bit. Mark McKeever will rehydrate and ponder his respective changes. He has 2 to his name as well, if he so chooses to use them. A man who described his time in South Georgia as a roller coaster. He was unemployed just a few months ago. A small break in a 2-decade-long career. Now he says this opportunity has been nothing short of incredibly rewarding. This group put his trust in him and his philosophy since day one. That's what's led to their incredible turnaround. And he said, just because this season has been a roller coaster in my time here doesn't mean I want to get off the ride just yet. If the ride will continue, it will have to come from a goal in the next 10 minutes for his side. Otherwise, we play an additional 30. And if we are still deadlocked after 120 minutes of quarterfinal soccer, a penalty shootout will decide the side that faces off against the Portland Hearts of Pine in the semifinals. Player goes down, and the referee will bring this one back. Gabriel Cabral, the Brazilian, helped back to his feet, asking for further punishment. Again, we've only seen 1 yellow card so far in this match. It was given to Andre Lewis, who is no longer on the pitch. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Throw in, now moved about 50, 60 yards downfield. Alves to take. Reed Stephen caught flat-footed there, wasn't expecting it. Just a shrug of the shoulders from the Barbados international. Knew there may have been a better pass on. Despite his involvement in the play, he has been kept quiet in the final third. Mason Tunbridge, the halftime substitute, with the most shots for Tormenta tonight, with 2 to his name. Both of those coming in just the first few minutes after he was introduced. Morancio eyeing the Route 1 pass. John Brown couldn't get up for it. Cabral picked away. Meredith. Sent long again. Great touch to bring it down by Pierre Reedy. Options either side. Picks out Siobhan John Brown, who loses his balance at the last moment. That may well and truly have been the opportunity to decide this match. Certainly the best of the bunch through 84 minutes. Stays on side, one-time ball, opens up the hips, does everything right, but leans back as he goes to strike it. And with his shoulders pointed to the sky, the ball follows suit. Callum Stretch searching for an incisive ball and eventually finds its way to Bazzini, who is too close to Taylor Gray. Bryce Meredith now the player down for Spokane. Mentioned early in this match the way that both teams want to play and how it's going to take a lot of fitness. Energy starting to run out of the tank. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Pack called into action once again. First ball won by the hosts. And Doyle right back into the back line. Garcia now brings it down with Waldeck in tow. Clever idea, somehow spotting Siobhan John Brown, who switches the play brilliantly. This is textbook Spokane buildup. Is there an end result? Oprah's cross headed down by Rashid, and the foot race won by Doyle. Sliding challenge got the ball. Denton skipping away. And then the shot blocked by Mikel Rashid. Jack Denton certainly providing a bright spot since being introduced to the match. Been on the pitch less than a half hour. Nearly made his name eternal. Spokane history. Excellent sliding challenge. Gets by not one, but two defenders. Keeps it himself, and then on the left foot is closed down by Mikel Rashid, who is fired up after making the play. Now will we see the long throw from Lucky Oprah once again? Stands are rumbling. Fans are aching for it. It is sent into the danger zone at the near post. And a foul in the fray. Doyle this time getting the call. Does take a lot to shove a man of his stature over, 6'2". Never one to back down from an aerial duel. Waldeck sending it long again. Good enough for a Spokane throw. Is there to be late drama in regulation? Will we require an additional 30 minutes on the West Coast? Oprah. Garcia. Closed down by Reed Stephen. Fans asking for a handball. Instead out for the throw. It's been an incredible Spokane crowd. They await a goal which would send them into utter jubilation. South Georgia looking for their first ever win against Velocity FC in their 5th ever meeting. 3 of those meetings have ended in a tie. This one looking set to. But of course, a draw is unacceptable in the playoffs. There must be a victor. The match is aching for a hero. Reedy, numbers to his left. Trying to pick out Pelaez, and going down is Gabriel Cabral. An aforementioned Spokane crowd raising the decibel level here once again. As Gabriel Alves, who actually wins the foul. And it's clever defending from him, just takes that step to the inside shoulder, knows the contact is going to be there, turns his outside shoulder at the last second to make sure that contact is into the small of his back, which is a foul. The 509 Syndicate, the supporters group here in Spokane, incredible job they have done growing the sport of soccer in this city. John Brown intercepting. Pelaez making the run. Heel a long way from him. And a piggyback ride, which will draw a foul. And a yellow card. Oh, a bit of comic relief right outside the center circle. Gabriel Cabral stood in Luis Hill's way. It does stop a promising attack for a caution. Malou turns away, invited the attacker forward, and then has the poise to whip around the other direction. The 90 minutes at a minimum have elapsed. It will be 5 to be added on. Stoppage time presented by Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort and Hotel. If we are deadlocked after 5, another 30 will follow suit. In no rush. All the way up and out of play. Yaniv Bazzini has been quieted by this Spokane back line. The most potent, powerful, prominent offense in all of League One against one of the most well-regimented and disciplined defenses. Has resulted in a stalemate through 90 minutes and more as Anwar Pelaez is down. He's only brought on about a half hour ago, and looks to be a foul, certainly. These fans aren't going anywhere. You've got the hats, the blankets, the scarves, the mittens. A chilly night in Spokane. appears to be far from over. Chance to change that for Velocity FC now. On the dead ball, standing over it is Derek Waldeck. The Californian, twice a national champion in college with Stanford. Good looking ball. Mikel Rashid first to it. Cabral with space. Reed Stephen making the run. Left behind for Taylor Gray. Now South Georgia will settle. Gray. Rashid. Tormenta not wanting to give it away in a position which could expose them to a counterattack. Cautious build-up from the visitors. Gray settling. Doyle. Cabral. Taylor Gray has a lot of space now. Tunbridge is calling for it. To the back post, underneath it is Alves. Hooper wins the header. The sliding challenge from Niall Reed Stephen, who somehow still has energy abound. Eight goals, 4 assists in the 9-match unbeaten run coming into tonight. No player in League One history has been as explosive in a 9-game stretch. Alves furious he didn't get someone checking too. Reed Stephen onside. Cruyff turned back to his right. Still going, Reed Stephen, and that will certainly be a free kick. Clever footwork. Knew he didn't have an option on and just had to draw a defender in to make a clumsy challenge. That is exactly what happened. And now in the 95th minute of the 95, a chance for Tormenta to steal a place in the semifinals. Alves will stand over it alone. 2 in the wall for Carlos Merancio. Everybody else in the mixer. Left arm goes up. Right foot sends it in. Headed away at the top of the 6. Was Alves rather on the rebound. Instead, Cabral swung it in and has it back in his care now. 1-2 for Tunbridge! The one-time strike guided just wide of the far post, and we will go to additional time. As is the tale of this matchup, Spokane and South Georgia unable to be separated through 90 minutes. We will step aside for a quick break. At the end of regulation, we are scoreless. 30 minutes on the books coming up.
De vez en cuando, todos queremos soltarnos. Solo necesitamos un poco de ayuda. Conozca Un Poco de Ayuda. El Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition 2024. Pasa por cualquier terreno para que puedas darlo todo. Obtén una gran oferta en una Bronco Sport hoy mismo. Arrienda una Bronco Sport Wild Edition por $339 al mes por 36 meses o cómpralo con 3.9 por 36 y obtén $2,000 de bono Wild.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
shots. 18 shots in total between these two sides, but only 3 on target. South Georgia had 60% possession after 45 minutes. It's gone a little bit less now, but more importantly, Spokane creating more. In that first half, they looked a little bit flat at times, especially in the final third. But in the last 25-30 minutes or so, it really was Spokane's match to steal before Mason Tunbridge, with the very last kick of regulation, getting it just wide from 18 yards. 3 substitutes have come on for Tormenta, only 2 for Spokane. 1 yellow card shown to the visitors with Gabriel Cabral, 2 for Velocity FC with Andre Lewis, who is no longer on the pitch, and Lee Wiedman, who will not be on the pitch. Instead, you get a good look at him on the sidelines. The coach on a caution, searching for answers. The second quarterfinal this year to go to extra time. Union Omaha, last year's champions, kept scoreless through 120 minutes by FC Naples, the expansion side. Won the shootout with the backup goalkeeper. Mark McKeever with a deep breath, the man who is no stranger to a postseason. 2021, he won USL League Two with the Des Moines Menace. 2022, was #1 in the country with Young Harris. Went on an undefeated season. 2023 was the lone season he didn't go to the postseason. 2024 with one Knoxville. Left halfway through the year, but they went on to appear in the playoffs. As we are into the first frame of extra time. Now, question is, does either coach change about how they were playing, how they were building up? Whistle sounds again in favor of Tormenta, as at the break, Aaron Walker comes on for the captain for South Georgia, Connor Doyle. Walker, 34 years of age, another Georgia native. Played with the Agi Auxerre Youth Academy in France. The Cardiff's U21 side in Wales, as a yellow card is shown to David Garcia. Another booking for stopping a promising attack. Another chance on the dead ball scenario for South Georgia. Mason Tunbridge stands over it. Kicked off 2025 with the brace, trying to turn provider. And the whistle will sound for offside. Again, the discipline of this Spokane side, knowing their roles and responsibilities. Those were the words that head coach Lee Wiedman used coming into this year. He said that was the point of emphasis after falling short in the final last year, was if defensively they could have a better, more cohesive understanding of their task at hand, and the consistency from this year, he said, has been top-notch. Now it's just a bit of sharpness in the final third that will decide which team has a date with Portland in the semifinals. Meredith, most minutes he's played this year, and tonight just his 4th start of the campaign. Bit of a force to the corner there. Denton was always going to be second to it, and now going over is Gabriel Cabral, but he doesn't get the call. Spokane wanted to go quickly instead. Lucky Oprah take his space. Gets it right back from Denton. Clip ball is a no-go. Hooper just trying to muscle his way through and cut away. Tunbridge using his body brilliantly to shield it. And now Bazzini. Finally a chance for the rookie to drive at goal. By one, goes over in the box! Penalty to South Georgia! Yaniv Bazzini wins the spot kick in the 94th minute. He has been working diligently all night long for a chance to drive a goal. Breezes by Lucky Oprah, and it's a clumsy challenge from David Garcia. Bazzini with a heavy touch probably wasn't going to get there. But the Spaniard, who was booked just minutes ago, now gives away the spot kick. Mason Tunbridge is standing over it. Reed Stephen to his right. Who has the nerves of steel on an icy cold night in Spokane? Looks like the honor will go to the Englishman. Tunbridge for what would be his 10th goal of the season. Standing in his way is Carlos Merencio. It's Mason Tunbridge. It's tucked away brilliantly. The Ibises take flight in the first half of additional time. The Englishman with the perfectly placed penalty, and South Georgia take the lead in Spokane. Steps up with authority and buried into the bottom right corner. Merencio the right way, but not a chance in the world of getting a fingertip to it. Lethal, venomous, undisputable from Mason Tunbridge. And South Georgia have one hand on a semifinal date with Portland. It took 95 minutes, but the deadlock has finally been broken. And now South Georgia imbued with a boatload of confidence, and Bazzini again wants to go to work. 5 white shirts surrounding him. Maybe a bit too hopeful from the first-year professional. Added sense of urgency now about Spokane. They are guaranteed another 25 minutes. They must find an equalizer if there is to be more. Garcia, who gave away the penalty, sends it long. And Pierre Reedy has left his studs in there. That's exactly what Mikel Rashid is motioning for. And it's far from the first time Pierre Reedy has committed a foul, and that's exactly what the referee does. The public display that you just saw means that is the final warning for Reedy before he is booked for persistent infringement. Another look at it. And it doesn't appear to be tons of contact there with the studs. Reedy does turn his left foot just a little bit at the end. Of course he's playing the ball, but in the same breath, it certainly is a foul. .509 Syndicate echoing their jeers around the grounds. One Spokane Stadium, which has been jubilant from the first minute to the final of the 90, has been silenced. Hope far from lost for the home side, though. John Brown with a good challenge. Sent long towards Reed Stephen, who stumbled as he tried to stop it. Cabral over again. And we saw the final warning a few minutes ago for Pierre Reedy. And there is the yellow card out of the pocket of Gerald Flores. Spokane need a player to step up and just calm things down a little bit. Match is far from over. A lot of soccer left to be played, but cooler heads must prevail if they are to find a way back. Marky Hernandez, fresh off his first goal for the club, looks to enter the fray. Bryce Meredith will be replaced by Neil Vinyals, and Pierre Reedy, after his booking, will be taken off for number 14. Got his first start last time out at Union Omaha and scored the first goal of the match just 5 minutes in. Clipping Rashid Nuhu off his line. Reed Stephen couldn't bring it down. Waldeck away. John Brown turning and finding a teammate in support. Vinyals, his first few touches. So to Hernandez. He'll try his luck, Marky Hernandez! And a difficult bounce is well read by Austin Pack. His former head coach at Northern Colorado, Eamon Zayed, billed him as the super sub in all of USL League One. What an introduction that would have been. The Jägermeister Cup champion under Coach Zayed, and now a chance to equalize for Velocity FC on the ICCU corner kick. Much more spacious in the box this time around than what we've seen so far tonight. Headed back in front. It'll fall to Waldeck if he can get there. Instead, Reed Stephen wins this one. Mauricio. Vinyals into the stratosphere and too much hang time. Austin Pack with more brave goalkeeping, and it needed to be. Gotta be mindful of the new rule. Has 8 seconds to get rid of it, but has put it on the ground, thus nullifying the clock. If he holds onto it too long, Spokane get a corner kick. John Brown. Into double coverage, as it were, and does well enough to win a throw. Uncharacteristically poor touch from him. Siobhan John Brown with an unmistakable presence tonight for Spokane in what is his 20th start for the club. Heel, free kick. Just as enough to get aside some breathing room. Garcia, Denton, Neil Vinyals, Barcelona native, always able to see the passing routes that maybe no one else can, but he's given that one away. Reed Stephen with a clever flick for Tunbridge, who tries to switch it for Bazzini. You need Bazzini with time to settle. On his left, one-time shot is just wide. A blistering Tormenta counter, but the lead stays at 1 for now. It was Gabriel Cabral, the man who currently dons the armband after Connor Doyle was substituted, who ran onto it from 20 yards, very nearly picked his spot, And now Hernandez the other way with heel. Clipping it to the back post. And Austin Pack will claim and fall and smother. Seconds feeling like hours for South Georgia, and there is still another half of additional time to be played. Meanwhile, the sand in the hourglass for Spokane seems to spoil that much faster. This is a lovely idea. Pelaez onto it, saved by Pack! Stopping Spokane's top goal scorer with a brilliant piece of goalkeeping. Lovely little ball around Malou, shaped into the run of Anwar Pelaez, who just takes a touch to try and ready himself. Pack cuts off the angle again and makes the save off his own man. ICCU corner kick on the way. Waldeck to swing it in. Left-footed delivery, driven with pace, and headed back across amidst a fray of bodies. It was David Garcia. He was upset with himself after meeting Waldeck's cross and heading it wide. Again, he's on the back foot there. Looked like he was trying to pick out a teammate, really. But from that sort of distance, may have wanted to aim for goal. Mikel Rashid is down now. Tormenta do have another change at their disposal. The man who joined back in June has been on the radar for South Georgia for a few years during his time in USL League Two with Asheville City, former All-Big East second team selection at Xavier University. 2 minutes will be added on. Now there is very little time for both coaches to address their respective charges at the interval. It's not like halftime where you get 15 minutes. It's just a handful. But maybe a chance for Spokane to find reprieve in the current momentum that stays with the Ibises. They need to find a way to weather the storm. Hernandez heading it down! Heel goes down in the box. The 509 Syndicate in an uproar. Their dismay will not be quelled. Vinyals will have to be stopped with the second ball on the pitch. And again, the jeers echo. Clipped away. Eyes on the watch from the referee. Denton. Garcia into the box. Clever back heel from Luis Heel. Pack will allow it to drop. 2 minutes out of minimum have elapsed. Sent into the stratosphere and headed down for a throw. That will conclude the first half of additional time. Mason Tunbridge from 12 yards gives South Georgia hope. A 1-goal lead is theirs to defend for 15 more minutes if they are to go back to the semifinals for the first time since 2022. Another look at the chance that sees the Ibises in front. Yaniv Bazzini won it. David Garcia trips him up. Whether intent or not, it's a foul. The ball is long gone and there is contact at the edge of the box. Niall Reed-Stephen was asking for it, but he leaves it behind for Mason Tunbridge. Dispatched with authority, never in doubt from number 16, who's into double-digit scoring this year with his 10th on the campaign for Tormenta. There must be a goal for Spokane if they are to force a penalty shootout. Henwala Bwana appears to be getting warm. Available as a substitute for South Georgia as Lee Wiedemann is making some tactical changes. Spokane, a team that prides itself on patience, will have to play quickly and get the ball forward and as early and as often as they possibly can. Mason Tunbridge fires his squad up. All West Region first team and all conference first team as a senior at the University of San Diego, the man born in London. Started the campaign with a brace. South Georgia played the very first match this year in 2025 in USL League One. Down in Georgia, a 4-2 win over the Richmond Kickers. It will be Tunbridge to start proceedings. The final 15 minutes of the quarterfinals. South Georgia, a quarter of an hour away from pulling off the upset against last year's runners-up in Spokane's first ever home playoff match. Reed-Stephen goes down. It stays with Tunbridge, trying to turn two defenders, and instead wins a foul of his own. Rather was Henwala Bwana who won it, and it's very clever from the substitute. Knows he doesn't have anything on, so watch this step. He backs into Marky Hernandez right there. It's clever. He's not really trying to play the ball there, but he does win a foul. That last step just in front of Marky Hernandez. When he has no other option, he draws the free kick. Cabral wants space. Bwana substituted on for Yaniv Bazzini, who won the penalty. Headed out to the top of the key. Pinballing around over Bwana. Tunbridge somehow got it. Flip-flap to the left foot. And at the byline, didn't run out of real estate, but may have delayed the restart there, and he has. He'll pick up a booking and has no interest in contesting it. One nothing in the 107th minute. South Georgia with a 1.66 expected goals, which was Spokane's goals against tally last year. Spokane with 1.16 expected goals, which was their goals against tally this year. A serendipitous circumstance of stats, but the only one that matters at the end of the day is the scoreline. Foul on the part of Justin Malou. Waldeck chested down. Now Vignal's providing reinforcements. Vignal's allowed to dribble. John Brown couldn't get the give and go. Now Gray. Tunbridge, they can't just quite clear their lines yet. South Georgia, and it's a good tackle. Too much game clock left. Just send it long and hope for the Ibises. They'll have to build. Intercepted. Trivella ball into space, and Reed-Stephen will try and put a little bit of pressure on it to no avail. Oprah. Waldeck. Heel. Again, trying to be creative with the back heel flick. Too many bodies. John Brown. A go from distance is blocked. Reed Steven might try and get there, and he does. Niall Reed Steven trying to brush by Garcia. Rather, it's Cameron Miller who went down. Trying to push the Barbados International away, and does for a moment. Buana, clever move. Handwalla Buana by himself. Needs help. Nobody there for South Georgia. Made a great run into the box and absolutely no support offered to him. That may be a real let-off for Tormenta. John Brown soldiering through contact and does get the call. Callum Stretch was pulling and pushing and tugging on that jersey. Hernandez. Vinyals, clever cut. Opportunity may open up for the shot. Instead, Siobhan John Brown receives, inviting Oprah forward. Sent right back. John Brown wants the 1-2. Oprah with space to cross. Clever run made by Luis Heel. 3 defenders to his right. Somehow almost getting the 1-2. The flag may have gone up, and it did. Despite not getting there, Luis Heel does try to be actively involved in that play, and that's why the flag goes up. Now a double change for Spokane, and it is a defensive one. Luis Heel will be taken off for Jalen Chrysler, the center back. The former One Knoxville man, playing under head coach Mark McKeever. And Siobhan John Brown will be replaced by Javier Martin. Grew up in Spain, played through the Atletico Madrid, Rayo Vallecano, and Real Madrid academies, before landing himself with Missouri State. He was an all first team conference selection in 2022, second team in 2023. Javier Martin scored once for Spokane last year. He has 2 assists but no goals in 2025. 2 defenders come on for 2 attackers, and it's creative by head coach Lee Wiedman. Reed Steven commits the foul, played quickly. Now, why did Coach Wiedman put 2 defenders on? It's a simple answer. Spokane need to get the ball forward. They're gonna hit those long searching passes over the top. Now with 2 defenders up top, they can rely on those players to win the aerial battles, try and get a header, and then rely on the quickness and the craftiness of the midfielders and the second line of forwards to try and get on the second ball. It's a big time call from the coach towards Martin, and the 2 center backs leading the line. Already making the runs. Pelaez there as well, the lone true forward on this front line. Vinyals clipping it towards Martin. Down for Oprah. Clipped into the box! Is that a handball? It is! Penalty to Spokane! Oh, what drama! Mikel Rashid, the guilty party! And a lifeline for Velocity FC! Pelaez was waiting for it. It goes underneath him, and you can see the arm is in an unnatural position from Mikel Rashid. The elbow at a right angle, making himself unnaturally bigger. That is the letter of the law. And it's a yellow card as well. Looks like maybe Austin Pack waiting confirmation on that. Mikel Rashid with an unfortunate turn of events for him. But now a golden opportunity for Spokane to level this. It will be Anwar Pelayez, their leading goal scorer this year, with 9 on the campaign. Austin Pack in his way, trying to put him off verbally. The Colombian must keep his composure if Spokane are to have life. 115th minute on the West Coast to give last year's runners-up hope. Direct run-up from Anwar Pelayez to level it, and does! To the sound at One Spokane Stadium. It will echo across the West Coast and across USL League One. The night is not over yet. Anwar Pelayez from 12 yards makes absolutely no mistake. A hop, a skip, a jump, and a finish. The wrong direction. And we are back to square one at 1-1 in minute 116. Goodness. Not long now if there is to be a winner. Penalties beckon on the other side of 120 minutes of soccer. Is there to be one last twist in the tail? Tunbridge on the left foot, allowed to skip by. And Martin taking no chances. A stadium that was silenced 20 minutes ago in raucous jubilee. Garcia looking long. Pelayez running for it. Lou goes down, so too does Pack, but with the ball in his grasp. There will likely be only a minute or two, maybe, of additional time. It is not long now if we are to see a second quarterfinal in USL League One in 2025 go to penalties. The player has gone down in midfield for South Georgia. Calm stretch will keep it alive, only for a moment, as now play will be stopped. Spokane have used their 6 subs. Both coaches are allotted one more in additional time, but Tormenta do have one more, but it is Niall Reed-Stephen who is down. That would certainly change things if we are to go to a PK shootout. Derek Waldeck, in front of Spokane's most passionate fans, waits his turn for the green light. Niall Reed-Stephen will come off, if only for a moment. We will await word if it is to be a permanent change. This will likely add a couple more minutes onto the end of the game, if you can even believe such a thing. Referee glances at his watch. We are into the 120th minute. Buana will leave it behind for Gabriel Alves. Malou. Rashid. Long ball for Niall Reed-Stephen, who's back onto the pitch. Buana now. Was waiting for an opening in the box and didn't see it. Cabral. He sliced that one the wrong way. 4 minutes. 4 more minutes if there is to be a hero. Otherwise, penalties await. Laurencio wants no one near him. Send it long towards those two center backs and see if someone can make a play. Denton, Oprah. South Georgia don't want to step up too high. Walker staying as the pivot in the heart of midfield. Clipped long. Stretch first to it and Walker the second. Gray. To midfield, and Hernandez got there first. It is all Spokane now. Peleas wants it in the box. Martin trying to stay upright and wins a free kick. That could prove costly for Callum Stretch. Derek Waldeck in some real discomfort. Spokane have used all of their changes. This will add even more time onto it. Derek Waldeck starting all of the 27 matches he has appeared in this season. Nearly 2,000 minutes for the club last year, 2,500 in 2025, and he may not be able to continue. Described by his head coach as one of the most dedicated professionals he has ever met. Able to read a new challenge that any team throws at him every time he takes to the field. Provides the sort of championship mindset that we look for in the locker room, said Coach Wiedman. But his night may have come to an abrupt ending. Four minutes of additional time. We've used about 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes to tend to Derek Waldeck. His safety is the top priority, but this does mean we will likely see a few more plays past minute number 124, which we enter now. Mark McKeever has a few words at the moment. Everyone watching nervously, and there is no telling how this one will conclude. Waldeck will temporarily come off the pitch. Spokane with one less man. Sent in towards Pack, who punches it away and gets clattered. More brave goalkeeping from South Georgia's #1, but goodness, it was a scary collision. Multiple players down. Everybody putting everything on the line, but that ball in a very, very dangerous spot, and the trainers will be motioned on. Just didn't see David Garcia challenging for it. Pack does get there first. Gabriel Cabral also down. And now a real decision for the referee. We're into the 126th minute, and players are starting to get hurt. Everybody watching on just hoping that everyone's okay. Pack is up. Cabral now slowly sitting forward. David Garcia being checked out by the medical staff, and he will sit up as well. Everyone appearing to be awake and alert, which is always a good sign. That ball was put right in the middle of the 6-yard box. Pack had to make a decision to come out for it, and a sporting gesture between him and Garcia. Of course, nothing meant there. But both players showing incredible fight and resolve and bravery. It's lucky Oprah helps Gabriel Cabral to his feet. It may have been a physical matchup, but there is a real sense of shared respect by both of these players, these coaches, and their respective staffs for a well-fought duel. The final chapter of the 2025 quarterfinals in USL League One is yet to be written. Every other page complete, every other word woven into existence, but yet it is the final word that remains to be seen. Malou keeping his composure to head it back to Pack. Minute number 128. And still the night goes on, and still the lights shine down at One Spokane Stadium, and still yet a victor is to be crowned. There must be a hero. There will be a hero. But it may come from the penalty spot. Reed Stephen behind for Gray, who goes over, and the whistle sounds. Maybe, just maybe, there is to be a winner. Mason Tunbridge, who scored South Georgia's goal, stands over it. Everyone up for Tormenta to the near post. Headed away by Javier Martin, only for a corner kick. The honor bestowed to Hanwha Labuana. One final heave into the area and out of it. Whistle still does not sound. Tunbridge, bodies underneath it and headed wide. We will go to the spot. 1-1 the final after 120 plus minutes. A penalty from Anwar Pelaez, breathing life into last year's runners-up to cancel out the spot kick from Mason Tunbridge. Both players with their respective 10th goals of the campaign. A chance for everyone to catch their breath as we take a look inside USL All Access.
This week on USL All Access, we cover all the madness that was Decision Day around the USL Championship. Now that we know the bracket, we take a look at the upcoming quarterfinal matches Saturday and Sunday around the championship. Plus, we get a chance to sit down with two legends of rowdy lore, Leo Fernandez and Forrest Lasso, hanging up their boots for the last time.
So it was scoreless through 90 minutes. But there were goals abound in the additional 30. It started in the first frame with Yaniv Bazzini, the former Vermont Catamount, rushing by Lucky Oprah, and David Garcia brings him down for a penalty. Niall Reed-Stephen wanted it. Instead, he leaves it behind for Mason Tunbridge. Pass and outstretched Carlos Marancio, and South Georgia took the lead. They would hold that lead for 20 minutes until this handball on the part of Mikel Rashid meant 12 yards for Spokane to save their postseason, and up steps their top talisman, this season's highest goal scorer, Anwar Pelaez, with tonight's play of the match, brought to you by Modelo, the mark of a fighter. And the fight stays alive with Velocity FC. Pelaez coolly into the side netting. As now we go to the penalty shootout. 5 chances for both sides. If we are tied after 5 spot kicks each, we go to sudden death. It took sudden death to decide the FC Naples and Union Omaha quarterfinal. We'll see what lies in store for South Georgia and Spokane. No more substitutes are permitted. The 11 for both sides that finish the match will be the 11 from which the managers are to select their kick takers. Carlos Marancio given final encouragement by his players and his fans who have crowded behind the goal. .509 Syndicate flock to the east side of the stadium. Carlos Marancio, who fell out of favor last year with Spokane, spent most of the season as their second choice goalkeeper, finished the regular season second in all of League One in saves and clean sheets. Austin Pack finished the campaign with just 1 less stop. 24 shots on total tonight. Make that 29 rather. And now a final 10 to decide it. Looks to be South Georgia's honor. And a stadium that has echoed into the night sky for hours falls silent. Everyone watching with bated breath, with heartbeats that could be heard thousands of miles away. And Aaron Walker must quell the beat of his own to take the first penalty kick. Marancio asking for the noise, and there it is. First we'll need a ball. It's handed off to Aaron Walker, a Georgia native, 34 years of age. to begin proceedings. Walker to kick things off. A slow run up from the veteran and converts. A nifty kick, nestled into the bottom left corner, and not a chance for Carlos Merancio to get anywhere near it. Even if he goes the right way, Merancio's not reaching that one. So well done. And the Spokane crowd falls silent. Neil Vinyals has not taken a penalty this year. Scored 4 of his last 5, and every one that he scored, he went to the goalkeeper's left. Has Austin Pack done his homework? Vinyals to level it, and he does! Austin Pack did do his homework, but the Spaniard with enough venom to take it by the goalkeeper. It's a very well taken penalty. 2 hands up from Austin Pack, gets across his line quickly. Maybe unfortunate not to get a fingertip to that. But there is something to be said about power over precision from 12 yards away. Less than a quarter of a second a goalie is given to react. Gabriel Alves now. A left-footed try and a deep breath to make it 2-1, and does. Merancio the right way, and again the ball in the back of the net. Another confident spot kick. 3 good penalties thus far. Nobody seeming to be fazed by the occasion. Marky Hernandez scored his 1 penalty against South Georgia back on August 18th of 2024. He chose the goalkeeper's bottom left corner. Scored against Austin Pack when Pack played for the Independents in the very same spot. Long run up from Marky Hernandez. A stutter step, and it's off the bar and in! Just barely. The finest of margins. Plenty of power. Kisses the underside of the crossbar, which is the friend of Marky Hernandez tonight. And we stay level. Niall Reed-Steven, the man with the most productive 9-game stretch in the league's history. 8 goals, 4 assists coming into tonight, was silenced through 120 minutes of play. An opportunity to silence the home crowd now. Short run up, and it's 3-2 Tormenta. Merancio this time goes the wrong way. Reed-Steven finally with a chance to stare down the goalkeeper and takes it expertly. Nerves surely starting to build now. Anwar Pelaez went to the goalkeeper's left in regulation. What will he choose this time? He goes the other way and gets it to go. Pack trusted his gut, and it is just underneath the outstretched right arm of the goalkeeper. Again, all of these penalties have been superb. Merancio and Pack, 2 of the best goalkeepers in the league, have been left no chance with any of them. fourth round. Mason Tunbridge scored his by going to Marancio's left in the 95th minute to give South Georgia the lead. The Panenka doesn't work! A cheeky attempt, but it's been foiled by Carlos Marancio. Mason Tunbridge goes for the Panenka right down the middle, and Marancio holds strong, read it all the way. And no guesswork to be done, has to figure out his emotions after that one. Spokane can take the lead now into the 5th round, and they do! A lovely penalty into the far side netting. David Garcia, who gave away the spot kick, dispatches his own. And now the burden rests on the man with the armband, Gabriel Cabral, for the visitors. He must score. He is 0 for 1 on penalties. It is a long run-up for the skipper, Cabral, to keep South Georgia alive. He cannot! It's over the bar, and Spokane are going back to the semifinals! A match which will not be soon forgotten, and Velocity FC emerge victorious in their very first playoff match on home soil. One for the history books, and a date in the semifinals with the Portland Hearts of Pine is set. Carlos Marancio, the hero, the man who fought and clawed and earned his way back into the first 11 after falling short in the title game last year. All smiles in 2025. And soaking in every bit of the moment that he has earned. Cabral could not keep his nerve. Looked for the top right corner. And it whistles by, the shadow of the ball grazing the crossbar, and Carlos Marancio, surrounded by his teammates in an outpouring of emotion. A stadium silenced in the 95th minute erupts after a PK shootout. Lee Wiedemann steadies the ship, subbing on 2 defenders for his 2 best attackers in the second half of additional time. They did enough to win a penalty, which Anwar Peleas scored, and Spokane's season lives on. Niall Reed-Stephen with an incredible campaign, and Lee Wiedemann, who has turned Spokane into a soccer city, will be celebrating long into the night with the thousands of Spokane faithful in the city he now calls home. What an unbelievable night. No shortage of drama, nor intrigue, nor incredible stories. So this is what the semifinals look like. 1 Knoxville to Players Shield winners will host FC Naples at Covenant Health Park. Meanwhile, Spokane will be back here at One Spokane Stadium to host Portland Hearts of Pine in their inaugural season after they upset Chattanooga. The quarterfinals in 2025 of USL League One, done and dusted. An unforgettable evening on the West Coast. The very first playoff game at One Spokane Stadium ends in victory for Velocity FC, who down South Georgia from the spot after 120 minutes and a 1-1 final. For everybody behind the scenes making this broadcast possible, our producer Hunter Nixon, I'm Philip Galati saying so long, and we'll see you in the semifinals.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.